We had our own vernacular, a shorthand spoken code. A raised brow meant, let's leave this place. A certain touch meant road trip ahead. We could have whole conversations in the space between the words. The most fluent I have ever been with anyone. The birds had nothing on us. We built it over years, from slang to poetry, from past assault to whispered sonnets, just for you and me to understand. It was a living, breathing thing. It grew with every fight, it softened with each I'm sorry in the middle of the night of making up. But love was a language, and now I'm the last one left who speaks a linguist of a dead tongue on a lonely mountain peak of memory. All my references are useless, all my inside jokes fall flat. I'm speaking in a dialect that no one knows, and that is the loneliest sound. I try to translate for myself, to write a dictionary of what each glance, each silence meant, but it's secondary. And sad love was a language, and you took the mother tongue. Now I'm mute in a world where I'm supposed to be young and talking. I'm trying to learn a new one, to conjugate new verbs like heal and stand and hope, to overcome the nerves of speaking, but my accent is all wrong. My sentences are slow, and part of me just wants to keep the old tongue, even though it's dead. Maybe everyone invents a language with the one they love, a private country of the mind, a gift from up above or just from time. And when the country falls, the language dies, preserved in one heart's vault. A beautiful extinct thing with no one left to fault for its passing. But love was a language, and now I'm the last one left who speaks a linguist of a dead tongue on a lonely mountain peak of memory. All my references are useless, all my inside jokes fall flat. I'm speaking in a dialect that no one knows, and that is the lowliest sound. I try to translate for myself, to write a dictionary of what each glance, each silence meant, but it's secondary. And sad love was a language, and you took the mother tongue. Now I'm mute in a world where I'm supposed to be young and talking. Silence or new sentences. Love was a language, now I'm learning present tense. Took the picture out today, the one from our best year. Your smile was wide and real, and I was standing near, enough to touch. I couldn't bear to see it anymore. A happy frozen light in a frame that promised more beneath a sunlit sky. That's gone, but I couldn't throw the frame away. The silver filigree, we bought it on a trip for our home decree of style, so I placed it back upon the shelf a polished hollow square, a window to a nothing, to the absence hanging there so visibly. This is love's empty frame, a monument to what's not there, a beautiful shape, nothing hanging in the air. Of my living room, it's more honest now, this vacant gleam in space, and the photograph they used to fill it with your face. In false promise, it holds the shape of memory, the outline of the we, but the center is just dust motes for only me to see and acknowledge. This is love's empty frame, and maybe I'll leave it just like this, a reminder that some happiness is easy to dismiss with a careful hand. Sometimes I think I'll put a new picture in, of a mountain or a sea, something neutral, beautiful, and just for me to own. But that feels like a surrender, like admitting it's just decor and not the aching silent wound it was left here for, to represent. Maybe an empty frame is the perfect symbol for a love that's past, a structure, lovely, a boundary around a void that's vast and personal. Maybe one day I'll fill it with a picture of my own face, smiling whole and occupying that one shared space, alone but complete. This is love's empty frame, a monument to what's not there, a beautiful shape, nothing hanging in the air. Of my living room, it's more honest now, this vacant gleam in space, than the photograph that used to fill it with your face. And false promise, it holds the shape of memory, the outline of the we, but the center is just dust motes for only me to see and acknowledge. This is love's empty frame, and maybe I'll leave it just like this, a reminder that some happiness is easy to dismiss with a careful hand. Empty but present, a silent silver crescent of what's missing, love's empty frame, still glistening. We got them on a dare in a dusty roadside shop, two matching simple hearts that we swore we never stop. Wearing pride, mine on my wrist, yours on your arm, a permanent stupid grin, a badge of our young folly, of the mess we were in and called love. For years I chased the lines, the black now turning blue. A map back to that afternoon of me and you and permanence, but your skin has seen more sun. Or maybe you had it erased, the story I heard later with my heart being paced by shock. Mine's just love's faded tattoo, a blurry bluish stain, a ghost of a commitment that caused so much pain. And it's a reminder skin outlasted, of a future that was never ever truly blasted. In a being I could have it covered up with something bold and new, a phoenix or a flower, something that is you. But I don't. It's love's faded tattoo, and it's a part of my skin story, a relic of a younger, braver, less sorry version of me. Sometimes strangers ask me, what does it mean? They'll say, and I just smile and shrug, it's from a different day, and change the subject, it doesn't hurt anymore. It's just a fact, a mark, a footnote on the manuscript, a tiny faded arc of history. Maybe the fading is the point, the softening of the line, proof that even things we swear are forever given time lose their edge. Maybe it's better as a blur, a suggestion of a shape, than a sharp and painful reminder of a great escape that left a scar. Mine's just love's faded tattoo, a blurry bluish stain, a ghost of a commitment that caused so much pain. In the end it's a reminder of a promise that our skin outlasted, of a future that was never ever truly blasted. In a being I could have it covered up with something bold and new, a phoenix or a flower, something that isn't you. But I don't. It's love's faded tattoo, and it's a part of my skin story, a relic of a younger, braver, less sorry version of me. Faded, dated, but integrated. Love's tattoo, perpetually fading, faded. You were my steady harbor in every storm I'd face, a solid weighted promise in a cold and empty space of ocean. I'd drop you down and feel a chain go taut, and know that I was safe, that I was caught and held. But anchors aren't for sailing, they're for staying in one place. And after all the weathering, I long to feel the grace of motion. I tug against the line, a restless growing pull. You just sit there on the bottom, beautiful and full of stubborn weight. You were love's heavy anchor, and you kept me from the drift, but you also kept me from the open sea's great gift of discovery. I love the safety, but I started to resent the tether, the confinement, every effort that I spent trying to move. I had to cut the chain of brutal, lonely act to save myself from being permanently, safely cracked by stillness. You were love's heavy anchor. set myself free. Now I'm adrift on a terrifying open sea. But it's mine. I see you sometimes on the shoreline, a distance I'll inspect, and part of me still misses the safety of your deck. And you're holding, but the wind is in my sails now, for the first time in so long. And even though the journey's scary, even though the waves are strong, I'm moving. Maybe some people are meant to be anchored steady, deep and true, and others are the sailors needing skies of changing blue and horizons. And when an anchor loves a sailor, one must change or break. The sailor has to leave for both their sakes and their souls. You were love's heavy anchor, and you kept me from the drift, but you also kept me from the open sea's great gift of discovery. I love the safety, but I started to resent the tether, the confinement, every effort that I spent trying to move. I had to cut the chain of brutal lonely act to save myself from being permanently, safely cracked by stillness. You were love's heavy anchor, and I had to set myself free. Now I'm adrift on a terrifying open sea. But it's mine. Anchor, anchor on the ocean floor. I'm sailing, sailing for a different shore. Oh, love's heavy anchor, release my peace increased. There was no procession, no black cars in a line, no gathering of loved ones, no preacher reading a sign from the Bible. It was just a Tuesday with a sky of neutral gray. The day they came and took your final things away in a hatchback. I didn't wear a black dress, I wore my yoga pants and socks. I didn't throw some roses on the cardboard moving boxes as they left. I just stood at the window with a cup of cooling tea and watched the burial of what you were to me in the rear view. It was a love's quiet funeral, a solitary stark affair, just me and the empty closets and the silence in the air. So heavy, no eulogy was spoken, no hymns were sung out loud, just the muffled practice courtesy of the moving men, a crowd of two. The casket was our shared life, lowered into the past, and I was the only mourner, knowing it wouldn't last. In memory like this, love's quiet funeral was the loneliest day I've known. The day I buried us completely alone. After they drove off, I didn't break down, I didn't scream, I just vacuumed up the dust where your life had been. And then I sat in the quiet of the funeral, settled in the room, a permanent resident in the emptiness and gloom. And in me, maybe the loud dramatic ends are easier in a way. They match the inner hurricane, they give the pain a play to perform. But a quiet funeral just sits there, a fact, a simple deed, acknowledged only by the one planted with the seed of loss. It was a love's quiet funeral, a solitary, stark affair. Just me and the empty closets and the silence in the air. So heavy, no eulogy was spoken, no hymns were sung out loud, just a muffled practice courtesy of the moving men, a crowd of two. The casket was our shared life, lowered into the past, and I was the only mourner. No, it wouldn't last in memory like this. Love's quiet funeral was the loneliest day I've known. The day I buried us completely alone. The end, no flowers to send. Love's quiet funeral, my only friend. We were all soft curves once, gentle slopes and warming lines. Your hand would fit in mine like we designed the signs of affection. But slowly, imperceptibly, angles grew acute. The compliments turned criticisms absolute. And cutting a joke became a jab, a silence became a blade. Every conversation was a risky barricade. To navigate, we'd hug and feel each other's elbows sharp and bone, where there was once just comfort in a place called home, in each other's arms. These are love sharp edges where the sweetness used to be, points of contact that now draw blood from you and me. When we touch, we're a sculpture made of broken glass and spite, beautiful from a distance, dangerous in the light of day. We can't hold each other without coming away scarred. Every word a potential weapon, every glance too hard. An assassin, these are love sharp edges, and we're dancing on the rim. The music's getting slower and the chances are getting slim that we'll make it out intact. One of us will have to fall or jump or just step back from the precarious ledge of this love's heart attack in motion. And when we do, the shattering will be spectacular and loud, a million glittering sharp pieces and a lonely final cloud of dust. Maybe some loves aren't meant to be smooth, maybe their beauty is their break. Maybe the letting go is the only move to make before you bleed out. Maybe the sharp edges are worn in a sign to cease to look for a love that's a sanctuary, a soft release from the world's own edges. These are love sharp edges where the sweetness used to be, points of contact that now draw blood from you and me. When we touch, we're a sculpture made of broken glass and spite, beautiful from a distance, dangerous in the light of day. We can't hold each other without coming away scarred. found instead. It wasn't cyanide, not a dramatic quick collapse. It was a tasteless daily droplet in my water, perhaps. On my wine, a little neglect, you dismissive word there. A slow accumulation of not showing that you care in the ways that matter. Did it feel the sickness at first? Just a low-grade fatigue, a sense that I was always trying to meet some vague intrigue of your standards. My joy grew thinner, my laughter lost each ring. I was poisoning myself by trying to please you, by clinging to your approval. It was love, slow poison, administered with a kiss, a toxic sweet addiction led me to this wasted state. By the time I felt the tremors, the damage was complete. My system was corrupted, from my head down to my feet. With your absence of love, the antidote is distance, but the cure is worse than the disease. It's vomiting up every memory, try to find sillies in the emptiness. It was love, slow poison, and I drank it willingly, toasting to our future that I couldn't see was killing me. And now I'm in recovery, flashing out the years, sweating out the toxins, all them shallowy tears and apologies I never owed. It's a painful, slow detox, learning what clean feels like, learning how to trust my own water, my own light to sustain me. Maybe some loves are just toxic, a gradual, short decline. And the smartest thing you do is learn to read the side on the bottle, but the label was in a language I thought I understood. It said love and forever, and this is for your good. I was illiterate in self-preservation. It was love, so poison, administered with a kiss, a toxic sweet addiction led me to this wasted state. By the time I felt the tremors, the damage was complete. My system was corrupted, with my head down to my feet. With your absence of love, the antidote is distance, but the cure is worse than the disease. It's vomiting up every memory, trying to find some ease in the emptiness. It was love, slow poison, and I drank it willingly, toasting to our future that I couldn't see was killing is now just a dream. Red flags were just banners, flying proud and high. I call them passion, call them fire, painting over every lie with hope. The empty promises were just sweet future songs I filled in all the missing notes where the melody was wrong and off key. The inconsistent warmth was just a fascinating, changing sky. I made a study of your clouds, learned every reason why you'd be cold. I built a whole religion from the crumbs you'd offer me, and called it love, and called it fate, for all the world to see and envy. And it's my fault for believing, for painting gold on rust, for handing you my innocence, for building on your dust a castle. It's my fault for seeing permanence and shifting sand, for trying to hold the ocean with my own two foolish hands, and thinking I could have wrapped my heart in your potential, not the man you were. And now the pain I feel is just a dull and steady blur of my own making. It's my fault for believing the story that I told. Now I'm out in the cold, and I'm not even old enough to know better. Now the banners are just tattered cloth, the songs are silent, dead. The clouds have all dispersed, and every hopeful word you said is just an echo. And I'm left with the architect's plans for a dream that fell, and no one to blame but the one who couldn't tell the difference. Maybe believing is a gift, even when it leads to pain. Maybe a heart that trusts too easy will someday love again with wiser eyes. But for now the fall line runs right through my chest, a crack from the earthquake of putting my own heart to the test, and losing my fault for believing, for painting gold on rust, for handing you my innocence, for building on your dust a castle. It's my fault for seeing permanence and shifting sand, for trying to hold the ocean with my own two foolish hands, and thinking I could have wrapped my heart in your potential, not the man you were. And now the pain I feel is just a dull and steady blur of my own making. It's my fault for believing the story that I told. Now I'm out in the cold, and I'm not even old enough to know better. My fault, my fault, my lesson through it all. My fault for believing I could have it all. You're not even here to hear it. you've already left the stage, but I'm standing in the spotlight on this empty final page of our script. This isn't for you, this is for the part of me that needs to say the words aloud, that needs to finally see the ending. I talk about the kindness before it turned to spite. I talk about the long, slow fading of the light. In your eyes I list my grievances, I list my gratitude. I talk about my shattered change and lonely attitude toward love. This is my final monologue, my closing argument, a speech to the empty theater where all my love was spent and wasted. I'm the star, the writer, and the audience tonight, and I will get the ending painfully, perfectly right for me. No more rewriting for your comfort, no more editing my pain. These are the raw and ragged facts that will forever remain in my history. This is my final monologue, and when the last word's said, I'll take a bow for no one and leave you for dead. In my past, I might stumble on a line, my voice might even crack, but I will power through the silence. I will not turn back. Before it's done, this is the exorcism, this is the letting go. This is me reclaiming every part of me you'll never know again. Maybe every heartbreak needs a finale, a performed and formal close. Not a whimper in the darkness, but a verse that boldly goes into the quiet after. Maybe by speaking it to the air, I give it form and sense, and turn the messy ache and loss into recompense of clarity. This is my final monologue, my closing argument, a speech to the empty theater where all my love was spent and wasted. I'm the star, the writer, and the audience tonight, and I will get the ending painfully, perfectly right for me. No more rewriting for your comfort, no more editing my pain. These are the raw and ragged facts that will forever remain in my history. This is my final monologue, and when the last word's said, I'll take a bow for no one and leave you for dead. In my past curtain, certain, my final monologue is the end of the foggy end. I kept it alive for so long, blowing on the coal, feeding it with maybes, with the fragments of my soul that remembered every text, every chance encounter was a little piece of wood to stoke the fire, to believe that maybe you could come back. I'd cut my hands around it, protecting it from truth, from the icy lens of logic, from the absence of you. Within my life it was a tiny stubborn orange, persistent glow the last light in the cabin of my heart, you know, the only one. But my hope is a dying ember cooling into ash. With every day you don't call, with every silent crash of reality, it's not a blaze anymore, not even a decent flame, just a faint red memory, a whisper of your name in the dark. I'm too tired now to blow on it. My breath is running thin and letting it go out feels like the original sin. Against myself, my hope a dying ember, and I'm watching it turn gray. The coldest part of night is right before the day, they say, but what if the day is just more gray? I should sweep it out, this ash, this final dusty proof, and let the cold and fully let it touch the roof of my being. But there's a comfort in its fading in its lack of heat, a peace in not expecting, in admitting my defeat. By time, maybe hope has to die completely before a new one can be born. Maybe you have to sit in the darkness, utterly forlorn and empty, before you can gather different wood and build a different fire, one that's just for you, one that matches your own true desire, and not a memory. But my hope is a dying ember cooling into ash. With every day you don't call, with every silent crash of reality, it's not a blaze anymore, not even a decent flame, just a faint red memory, a whisper of your name in the dark. I'm too tired now to blow on it. My breath is running thin and letting it go out feels like the original sin. Against myself, my hope a dying ember, and I'm watching it turn gray. The coldest part of night is right before the day, they say, but what if the day is just more gray? Ashes cold, a story told, my hope a dying ember grows old. We used to get delightfully lost down streets we'd never seen. Every corner held a secret, every pocket was a green. New world, the map was endless, full of restaurants to try, and hidden parks where we could watch the cloudless, sprawling sky together. But now that it's just me, the city's shrunk to a few blocks, places I can go without imagining your face. The clocks stop and I stick to my routines, my grocery store, my gym, avoiding all the neighborhoods that are still full of him. Our city feels smaller now that you're not in it with me. The streets have all contracted, there's no new mystery. to discover every coffee shop's a landmine, every movie theater's a tomb. The vibrant, living city is surrender to the gloom of our ending. I know it's just perception. The map is still the same, but my heart has drawn a border and it whispers your name on every street sign. Our city feels smaller because my world got so small. When you left, you took the rise and you took the sprawl, and all of it with you. Of it with you. Maybe I should move away, get a fresh blank slate to roam, but that feels like letting you in, like abandoning my home to a ghost. So I stay and I slowly, painfully reclaim a street or two, building new memories that have nothing to do with us. Maybe a city is just a container for the love you feel inside. When the love goes, the walls feel closer, the avenues feel wide. With emptiness, maybe one day I'll wake up and the city will expand, and I'll get lost again with my own steady hand on the wheel. Our city feels smaller now that you're not in it with me. The streets have all contracted, there's no new mystery to discover. Every coffee shop's a landmine, every movie theater's a tomb. The vibrant, living city has surrendered to the gloom of our ending. I know it's just perception. The map is still the same, but my heart has drawn a border and it whispers your name on every street sign. Our city feels smaller because my world got so small. When you left, you took the rise and you took the sprawling, all of it with you. One block at a time, making it mine. Our city feels smaller, but I am the designer. It was a Thursday, I think, or maybe a Wednesday night. Nothing was sparkling, nothing was particularly bright or warning. We had pasta for dinner, we watched a forgettable show. We bickered about the thermostat, a gentle normal low. Great annoyance. You kissed me goodnight, a peck, not a promise on my cheek. We fell asleep back to back in the middle of the week of our lives. There was no orchestra, no sense of finality, just the mundane, lovely, boring, beautiful, ordinary of us. That was our last normal day, and I didn't even know to memorize the pasta sauce, the way the TV's glow lit your face. I didn't know to hold a bickering like a precious gem, the last of its kind, the final quiet stem of our everyday. The next day the crack appeared and then the slow collapse, but that Thursday sits in my mind, perhaps the heaviest. Our last normal day is a museum piece behind glass. A perfect simple moment that was too fragile to last because we were. Now I give anything for a normal day, a boring fight, for the right to be annoyed with you in the soft forgiving light of a shared life. But normal is gone, it broke with that last unremarkable night and left me with the spectacular, the painful, and the bright ache of missing. Maybe heaven is just a string of less normal days, endless and serene. Maybe hell is knowing you had it and didn't know what it could mean to lose it. Maybe the greatest love is hidden in the unremarkable, the plain. You only see its outline when it starts to rain for good. That was our last normal day, and I didn't even know to memorize the pasta sauce, the way the TV's glow in your face. I didn't know to hold the bickering like a precious gem, the last of its kind, the final quiet stem of our everyday. The next day the crack appeared and then the slow collapse. But that Thursday sits in my mind, perhaps the heaviest. Our last normal day is a museum piece behind glass, a perfect simple moment that was too fragile to last because we were. To the memory of how it was. The artist captured us in oils in that golden summer light. My head upon your shoulder, everything so right, and framed it hung above the fireplace, the center of our home, a testament to how far we had come to roam together. After you were gone, I couldn't bear the daily sight of that happy frozen couple in the fading evening light. A mockery, so I took it down and bought some brushes and some gray, determined to paint over us, to cover up that day and all its promise. I'm painting over the portrait, stroke by heavy covering stroke, turning our smiles to a blur, our love into a smoky joke. On canvas the gray is cool and neutral, a modern clean disguise for the vibrant living colors that were shining in our eyes back then. But paint is thin and memory is thick, and sometimes I can see the outline of your jawline staring back at me through the gray. I'm painting over the portrait, but the ghosts of us remain, a pentimental of pleasure and of pain. Maybe I should have just destroyed it, slashed it with a knife, but this feels like a quieter, more dignified end of life. For what we were, this methodical covering, this slow and steady erase, matches the gradual vanishing of you from this place and from my heart. Maybe all old loves are alike. this. Paintings we try to hide with the neutral colors of our new, more cautious pride and survival. But the underimage always lingers, a whisper in the grain, a beautiful sad secret that the surface can't explain or contain. I'm painting over the portrait, stroke by heavy cover and stroke, turning our smiles to a blur, our love into a smoky joke. On canvas the gray is cool and neutral, a modern clean disguise for the vibrant living colors that were shining in our eyes back then. But paint is thin and memory is thick, and sometimes I can see the outline of your jawline staring back at me through the gray. I'm painting over the portrait, but the ghosts of us remain, a pentiment of pleasure and of pain. One more coat, a heavy note. The portrait is now a ghost in gray, painted over today. I feel him in the morning when I'm pouring just one cup, a presence by the stovetop where he'd always stand right up and stretch. I hear the phantom clatter of a second plate being set, an echo of a lifetime of a sun not risen yet. Together, he's in the way the sunlight hits the empty second chair. He's in the silence where his morning grumbles used to fill the air. With life I'll be scrambling eggs and feel him looking over my shoulder. A critic, a companion as the morning grows older and lonelier. There's a ghost in our kitchen and he wears your old one robe. He drifts between the cabinets, the silent spectral glow. But memory doesn't speak, he just observes a leftover piece of we, a haunting of the ordinary, for only me to see and feel. He's the most stubborn ghost because he lives in daily right, in the smell of toast, in the turn on of the light. Each dawn there's a ghost in our kitchen and I can't seem to make him leave. He's tied to the coffee grounds, to the seat of our shared life. Sometimes I talk to him, I'll say the weather's turning cold, and for a second it's not sad, it's just a story told to a listener. But then the silence rushes back and deeper than before, and I'm just a woman talking to a closed old door of a love that left. Maybe houses hold the memories in their walls, their floors, their sinks. Maybe grief is just the ghost of all the daily links that formed a chain, and the kitchen is the strongest link of all, the heart of home. So the ghost there is the last one, refusing ever to roam or find peace. There's a ghost in our kitchen and he wears your old one robe. He drifts between the cabinets, the silent spectral glow. But memory doesn't speak, he just observes a leftover piece of we, a haunting of the ordinary, for only me to see and feel. He's the most stubborn ghost because he lives in daily right, in the smell of toast and the turn on of the the light. Each dawn there's a ghost in our kitchen, and I can't seem to make him leave. He's tied to the coffee grounds, to the seat of our shared life. Maybe I'll move, or maybe I'll prove that ghosts fade when you start feeding them. The ghost in our kitchen and my requiem. Planted seeds of doubt with a careful, casual hand. Are you sure you should wear that? Well, I don't understand. You dream you water them with silence when I needed words of praise, and let the weeds of my insecurity grow for days and weeks. You tended that sad garden, nurturing every fear, until the landscape of my confidence was no longer clear. On mine I was so busy trying to please you, to make the blossoms grow. I didn't see the harvest you were planting all along the low and cruel yield. And this is the hurt you harvested from the field you sowed in me, a bumper crop of sorrow for the world and you to see. In discard you reap my tenderness, you bundled up my trust and left me with the barren dirt, the inevitable dust of my spirit. You didn't want the flowers, you wanted the control, the power that comes from owning a fragile will and soul. And it's output, this is the hurt you harvested, and you moved on to a new farm. I'm left with the fallout, with the permanent harm and the knowledge. Now I'm the scarecrow in my own field, ragged, worn and standing tall, keeping birds of prey away, building up a wall of self. The soil's poison, it will take years to heal, to believe in growth again, to know what's truly real. And now you're cunning. Maybe some people are farmers of pain, they know just what to grow, to feed the need for power, to watch a bright heart go dim and doubting. And maybe my job now is to let this field life follow the rest, to gather strength, to feel my own words slowly return with the seasons. And this is the hurt you harvested from the field you sowed in me, a bumper crop of sorrow for the world and you to see. And discard you reaped my tenderness, you bundled up my trust and left me with the barren dirt, the inevitable dust of my spirit. You didn't want the flowers, you wanted the control, the power that comes from owning a fragile will and soul. And it's output, this is the hurt you harvested, and you moved on to a new farm. I'm left with the fallout, with the permanent harm and the knowledge. My field, my yield, my heart will It doesn't have a lyric, not a single structured rhyme. It plays in minor seconds, in the keeping steady time of my pulse. It's the hum of the refrigerator in the empty kitchen night. It's the rhythm of the windshield wipers wiping clean the side of your face. In the glass, it's the bass note of my footfalls on the stairs alone. The treble of a text alert that isn't from your phone and never is. It's a symphony of mundane, daily, solitary sounds that all get tuned and twisted till the missing wraps around every note. This is the melody of missing, a soundtrack for the gone. It plays on a continuous loop from dusk till dawn and back again. It's not a song you can turn off or change or delete. It's the score for the movie of my own defeat. By memory it turns a coffee maker's gurgle to a mournful longing sigh. Makes a distant siren sound like our last goodbye. All over this melody of missing is the only tune I know, a heartbreaking concerto for a solo, hearts slow show. Sometimes I try to drown it out with noise, with talk, with this song, but it finds a way to seep in, to prove that it belongs in the silence underneath. It's the underscore of my entire life right now, a permanent arrangement. I've forgotten anyhow to live without it. Maybe one day it will soften, become a background score, not the main event that hurts me, not the thing I'm fighting for. Just silence, maybe it will integrate, become a part of me, the melody of who I am post you finally free, but still in a certain key. This is the melody of missing, a soundtrack for the gone. It plays on a continuous loop from dusk till dawn and back again. It's not a song you can turn off or change or delete. It's the score for the movie of my own defeat. My memory turns a coffee maker's gurgle to a mournful longing sigh. Makes a distant siren sound like our last goodbye. All over this melody I'm missing is the only tune I know, a heartbreaking concerto for a solo, hearts slow show. Become of me. You left in early spring, when the world was all pretend. The trees were budding promises they couldn't comprehend. The frost inside the daffodils were pushing through the thaw, a cool and cheerful audience to the ending that I saw in your suitcase. every spring is haunted by the scent of wet black earth and the painful green rebirth that highlights my own dearth of joy. The robins on the lawn are singing someone else's song. Everything feels desperate and everything feels wrong and too bright. It's the season you left, and he comes back every year. A calendar of grief that's perfectly punctually clear. It's time and the blossoms are just memories in pink and white. Warm air is just the ghost of you holding me tight. Of every single need you walked away from. It's the season you left, and it's the season I must bear. A beautiful, cruel reminder that you're no longer there to see it with me. Maybe one year I'll wake up and the ache will be a sigh, and I'll see the spring as mine beneath the mutual sky of my own making. But for now, this season is a tomb where our love is laid to rest, and I'm just the solitary keeper of the nest that's empty. They say time heals, the seasons turn, and pain will fade away. But some pains get recycled with the turning of the day into April. Maybe the wound is seasonal. It blooms when the world does. A perennial sorrow, just because it's the season you left. It's the season you left, and it comes back every year. A calendar of grief that's perfectly punctually clear. It's timing the blossoms are just memories in pink and white. Drawn is just the ghost of you holding me tight. Then letting go, I try to hold the sunshine, try to plant my own new seed, but my hands still feel the emptiness of everything you need. You walked away from. It's the season you left, and it's the season I must bear. You're no longer there to sit with me. Spring again, simple question. How was your day? Send it to a tiny digital hello from me to you. Across the miles I saw the little deliver turn to read, and then I watched my hope begin to quietly bleed out in real time. Hours ticked by, became a day, then two, then more. That little blue check mark, a permanent silent war. On my screen I crafted explanations, busy signal, phone is dead. Anything but the truth that was filling me with dread. In my gut, you left me on red, the most modern of goodbyes. No slam door, no tears in eyes, just the evidence that lies in seen receipts. It's a passive-aggressive, cowardly, clean-cut end, a message that you don't have the decency to send. A real one, you turn my words to ghost trapped in a digital thread. A monument to everything you never said out loud. That's the story of our close, not with a period but with a ghost of a notification. I still have the screenshots, the whole side shrinking chain, from good morning beautiful to this lingering silent pain of being ignored. It's a museum of our fate and a graph of our decline, the most efficient way to say you're no longer mine, or even worth my thumb's effort. Maybe it's a mercy, this quiet pain that's ever better than a cruel text that lives in your mind forever. But it feels like being erased, like being made so small that you're not even worth a sorry. This isn't working call or period, just left. You left in red, the most modern of goodbyes. No slam door, no tears in eyes, just the evidence that lies in seen receipts. It's a passive-aggressive, cowardly, clean-cut end, a message that you don't have the decency to send. A real one, you turn my words to ghosts trapped in a digital thread. A monument to everything you never said out loud. You left me on red, and that's the story of our close, not with a period but with a ghost of a notification. Deliver, see, the space in between is where our love died unseen, left on red, left on red. You were my navigator, you held the folded plan, you knew the turns, the back roads, since this whole thing began. With you I was the passenger, trusting, looking at the view, content to leave the route in the whole way through. To you, you point out little landmarks, we'll come back here someday. You chart our course for weekends, you always knew the way. To joy I never learned the routes myself, I just knew home was where you were driving us into the sunset air. of our future. But you took the map when you left. Every route, every street, even me stranded in a town that's now incomplete and foreign. I don't know how to get to our favorite beach from here. I don't know the back way home that conquers fear of traffic. You took the legend, the compass, the whole damn chart, and left me with the destination and a hollow breaking heart. But no directions, you took the map, and now I'm truly lost, paying for the trust that all has a cost. Now I buy a new map, one that's just for me, and the roads are just lines with no shared history. To color them I get lost on purpose sometimes, just to feel the scare of not knowing, of being the only one. That responsible is slow and it's scary, learning north from south alone, with no co-pilot's voice, with no familiar tone to guide me. Maybe I was never lost when I was with you. Maybe I was found but in a country that would vanish when you weren't around. And naming now the territory is mine, uncharted, wild and vast. And the map I'm drawing now is the one that will last for my own lifetime. But you took the map when you left. Every route, every street, even me stranded in a town that's now incomplete and foreign. I don't know how to get to our favorite beach from here. I don't know the back way home that conquers fear of traffic. You took the legend, the compass, the whole damn chart, and left me with the destination and a hollow breaking heart. But no directions, you took the map, and now I'm truly lost, paying for the trust that all has a cost. New map, new roads, new codes, my own heavy loads. You took the map, I take the wheel. We were walking in the snowfall, mittened hand in mittened hand, a perfect quiet picture in the white and drifting land of evening. You were telling me a story, and I laughed and squeezed your fingers tight. A silent I am here in the fading winter light, a promise. But then your story trailed off and your grip went slack and loose. Not suddenly but slowly, like you'd cooked up some excuse. In your mind my hand held on for 3 more steps, feeling the emptiness grow. Before I had to let you go, before I had to know what was coming. Your hand let go first, that's the detail I can't forget. A tiny physical betrayal that I haven't processed yet completely. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't even a word said, just your fingers going dead in the warmth where mine were fed. With love, my hand still clinging, felt the chill rush in between. And those eloquent goodbyes are often silent, often clean and brutal. Your hand let go first, and mine just had to fall. The smallest, coldest ending of them all. the release, the eventual quiet note. In their touch I can't lose myself in the holding. Can't believe in the grasp, because I learned not even warmth and pressure cannot last. If one person decides, baby, all endings start with a letting go, a subtle, slow release, a micro movement that signals the cease of connection. Maybe my hand should have let go first. Maybe I feel less the fool, but I was the one still believing in the rule of together. Your head let go first, that's the detail I can't forget. The tiny physical betrayal that I hadn't processed yet completely. It wasn't a fight, it wasn't even a word said, just your fingers going dead in the warmth where mine were fed. When I left my hand still clinging, felt the chill rush in between. The most eloquent goodbyes are often silent, often clean and brutal. Your hand let go first, and mine just had to follow the slowest, coldest ending of them